So this table contains subject marks. Okay, the individual subject marks. Now, okay. So then this is one table. This table contains student marks. There is another table. The table is result. So in this one field is student number, one field is total, one field is average, one field is result. Okay, then. So I want to write a program. To calculate all the students total, average, result, and insert into result table. Okay. So your program has to calculate all the students, not one student. All the students. Suppose the student table contains 60 students data. So your program has to calculate all the 60 students data, all the 60 students total, average, result, and insert into result table. Okay, then. Now, so we are not going to calculate one particular student. We are going to calculate all the students. So what is required? Cursor is required. You have to take cursor. If it is one student, cursor is not required. If you want to calculate all the students, cursor is required. So first declare the cursor. So declare C1 cursor for what we take into the cursor? Required data. Whatever the data is required for the program. What is the aim of this program is calculating total average result. For calculating total average result, what we need? Marks, individual subject marks. And plus also we need student number. Student number S1, S2, S3 from student table. And we don't need name. Name is not required. Student number is required. Individual subject marks are required. Okay, then next. So next, declare the required variables. I need one variable for student number, one variable for subject 1, one variable for subject 2, one variable for subject 3, one variable for total. One variable for subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, total. So total integer. Next one, average. Average is what? Decimal. Decimal 5,2. Either you can take numeric also. Decimal or numeric, both are same. You can take numeric. 5,2. Why I'm taking 5,2? Because average can be a float. Okay, then next. So plus also take one more variable for what? Result, RES, care of 4. Because in the result I store pass fail. Pass fail is character type. How many characters? 4 characters. So declare the cursor, declare the required variables. One variable for student number, one variable for subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, total, average, result. What the next step is? Open the cursor. Open cursor. Open C1. When cursor is open, what happens is this query is executed. Whatever data written by this query returns data from what? Student table. This query returns the data from student table. All the data is copied to cursor C1. Okay, na? The data is copied to cursor C1. Whatever data written by this query bus, this query output is copied to the cursor C1 when you open the cursor. Now initially, where is the cursor? Cursor is before the first row. Let's say cursor is at here. Cursor is at before the first row. Initially, cursor is at before the first row. Now fetch the record. How to fetch? Fetch next from C1 into. When fetch next is executed, the cursor is moved to what? First record. Initially before the first row. When fetch next is executed, it is moved to the first row. The cursor is moved to first row. So the cursor is at first row. And fetch the first record and copy these values into the variables. But into the cursor, student name is not there. What is there? Student name is not there. Student number plus subject marks are there. Student name is not there. Understood now? Then. Okay, then. Now. So fetch next from C1 into. How many values are fetched from cursor? 4 values. Assign these 4 values into 4 variables. So first value into student number. First value is student number. Na? Assign this value into this variable at the rate student number. Next one, subject 1, S1, subject 2, S2, subject 3, S3. So fetch the data from cursor, copy the data into variables, local variables. Next, take a loop. So this loop should continue up to fetch status is, okay, now once fetch status is -1, the loop terminates. Fetch status equal to 0. So if fetch statement is successful, fetch status returns what? 0. Condition true. Now you got the first student data. The first student data is there in these variables. Now what is our aim is calculate the total average result. Calculate the total, assign the total into this variable. Calculate the average, assign the average into this variable. Result, assign the result into this variable. Calculate the total. What is that is set at the rate what's a total equals to at the rate S1 plus at the rate S2 plus at the rate S3. Total equals to next one. Set what? Average equals to total by 3. Total by 3. Average equals to total by 3. Next one, result. So the result is based on individual subject marks. Okay, na? Result based on individual subject marks. If individual subject marks greater than 35, result is pass, otherwise fail. Now, what we have to write? We have to write what? If condition. Okay, na? So we have to write what? If condition. What is the condition? If S1 greater than or equals to 35 and S2 greater than or equals to 35 and S3 greater than or equals to 35, then individual subject marks greater than 35, then what is result is pass. Result is pass and assign that result into this variable. Already you taken a variable for storing the result. Assign the result into this variable. Next one, what else? Else, what the result is? Result is what? Fail. Result is fail. Okay, then. So assign the total to this one, average to this one, result next one. Next to insert into. Insert into. Okay, insert into. So what is the aim of this program? After calculating total average result, we have to insert the data into result table. We have to insert the data into what? Result table. And then, so what? Insert into what? Result values. What is the first column? Student number. Student number. Where is the student number? Student number is there in this variable at the rate SNO. Then at the rate what? SNO. What is the second field? Total. Where is the total? Total is there in the variable at the rate total. Next one, average at the rate average. Result at the rate result. So the first student data is, so you fetched the first student data and you calculated the total average result and inserted into result table. First student is completed. Now second student. Again what? First student is completed. Again second student. Again what? Fetch. Again fetch. Okay, na? So what is this fetch statement will fetch? This fetch statement will fetch what? Second student. So this is the second student. Fetch statement fetches second student and the values are copied to the variables. What about this condition? True. Calculate the total. What is the total? 70 plus 30 plus 60, 160. Next one, 160 by 3. Okay, then 160 by 3. So 50 point something like this, 50.3 like this. Okay, now then next one, individual subject marks greater than 35. Yes. No. One of the subject marks not greater than 35. Condition what? False. Then go to else. What the result is? Fail. And this is inserted into what? Result table. Then next one, fetch statement fetches next record. But next record is there or not there? Not there. So fetch is unsuccessful. What is the fetch status? Is -1. Condition false. Loop terminates. Okay, that's all. So this is what? Close C1. Next one, deallocate C1. Next one, like that's all. Okay, then. So this program calculates what? All the students. If there are 60 students, it calculates all the 60 students. So this loop runs how many times? 60 times. Then tables you are written now. Tables. No? Tables. Okay. Okay. Then okay, na? Then now, but to run this first, you need to create tables. Okay. Then so this is the actual what purpose of cursors. Okay. Then what we are doing, fetching one by one record from table and performing some calculation, inserting the data into another table. So whenever such requirement is there, then we use what cursor. Okay. Then now, so but if table is there, okay. If table is not there, we create the table. Select star from student, but there, but it's not according to then. So create table student, student number integer, student name, varchar of 10, s1 integer, s2 integer, s3 integer. Create the table. So table is created. After creating the table, insert data into table. Insert into student values 1A, suppose 80, 90, 70. Student 2 B, something 70, 50, 30, something, whatever. Okay, then. So 2 rows affected. Next one. Create table what result. One field is student number, one field is total integer, one field is average. What this is? Numeric what 5 comma 2. Next one. Okay, result is char of 4. So create this table. Table is created. So both tables are ready. Now we can run the program. Okay, both tables are ready. Now we can run the program. Then now let's see this here. Okay, then so 2 rows affected, 2 rows inserted into the table. Just go and check the table. Select star from which table you have to check. Result table. See the result table. Pass fail. Why? Both are fail. Select star from student table. Select star from student table. 80, 90, 70 now. Then so maybe something wrong in the program. So S3 what greater than or equals to. Okay, I written equal to. So now run this. Now you do one thing. Truncate the table. Existing table is truncated. Truncate table what result. Truncating means what happens? Existing data is what deleted. Okay, then now selects. Now run the program. Now run this program again. So 2 rows affected. Just go and see the result table. Select star from result. Select star from result. See the result table. Now pass fail. Okay, then that's it. This is how to use cursors. Okay, na? So fetching one by one row from table, perform some calculation and insert the data. Okay, then. So first create the table. Now run the program. Just go and check the result table. So data is inserted into result table or not. Okay, then. Next one. So the cursor we use it. What is this cursor is called? This cursor is called forward only cursor. The cursor we use it is called forward only cursor. This cursor is called forward only. Okay, then why this is called forward only? Because this supports only forward navigation but doesn't support backward navigation. So first time this fetch statement fetches what? When fetch next is executed, it is moved to the next record. Initially it is before the first row. Fetch next is executed, it is moved to first record. Again fetch next is executed, it is moved to next record, second record, third record, fourth record, fifth record, like this. So every time fetch next is executed, it is moved to next record. So this type of cursor is called forward only cursor. So it supports forward navigation but doesn't support what? Backward navigation. There is one cursor. What that cursor is called? What that cursor is called? Scrollable cursor. There is a cursor called scrollable cursor. And this scrollable cursor supports what? The scrollable cursor supports both forward and backward navigation. By default, the cursor is forward only cursor. It supports only forward navigation but doesn't support backward. But this cursor supports both forward and backward. You can move from first record to second record to third record to second record. Okay. So first to last, last to first. Then, so next. And by default, the cursor is forward only cursor and it supports forward navigation but doesn't support backward navigation. Okay, then. So next. But how to declare the cursor as scrollable cursor? If you declare cursor with scroll, then it is called scrollable cursor. Okay. If you declare cursor with scroll, then it is called scrollable cursor. So if cursor declared with what? Scroll, then it is called scrollable cursor. And it supports both what? Forward and what? Backward navigation. Okay. And it supports both forward and backward navigation. Okay, then now let's see. Let's see this. What? Now let's see. And plus forward only cursor. Forward only cursor supports only fetch next statement. fetch next statement. Okay. Forward only cursor supports only fetch next statement. It supports only one fetch statement, that is what? Fetch next. So every time fetch next is executed, the cursor is moved to next record. But scrollable cursor, okay, scrollable cursor supports the following fetch statements. Okay, scrollable cursor supports following fetch statements. What fetch statement it supports? It supports one fetch statement called fetch first. Fetch what next? Fetch what prior? Fetch what last? Fetch absolute n. Fetch relative n. Fetch first, fetch next, fetch prior, fetch last, fetch absolute n, fetch relative n. So these are the fetch statement it supports. The scrollable cursor support these fetch statements. Okay, then. Now, what is fetch first? Okay, what is? This statement fetches what? First record. If fetch first is executed, the cursor is moved to first record. Wherever cursor is there, it is moved to first record. First record is fetched. Fetch next is executed. Then cursor is moved to what? Next record. So fetches next record. Fetch prior means fetches what? Previous record. Last. Then fetches what? Last record. So this statement fetches last record. Okay, then. So this fetches last record. Next one. What is the next one? Absolute n. Then absolute n. Absolute n value 5. Assume n value is 5. Fetches fifth record from first record. Absolute 5. If you say absolute 5 means it fetches fifth record. Absolute 10 fetches 10th record. Wherever cursor is there. So wherever cursor is there, if you say absolute 5 means it is moved to the fifth record. Absolute 10, then it is moved to the 10th record. So fetches what? 10th record from first record. Fetches 10th record from first record. Next. Then what this is? Okay, then so this is what like so fetch relative n. Relative n. Relative n means this is fetches nth record from current record. Fetches nth record from current record. Okay, then 1 second. Suppose here, try to understand the difference, absolute and relative. You understood this before? Yes? Okay, na? Then now what is absolute and relative? Like for example, just see this name, ename from emp. Let's take the names. So then 1 second, drop index what? Emp dot I2 now. I2 or I3. Okay, let it be. Okay. Then see the table. So this is the table. Okay, employee names. I say absolute 5. Then so wherever cursor is there, it is moved to the fifth record from first record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes to Martin. Absolute 5. It goes to Martin. Now where is the cursor now? Cursor is at fifth record. Now I say relate to 5. If I say relate to 5, then it is moved to the fifth record from current record, starting from current record. Starting from current record, it will go to the next fifth record. Then what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turner. So it is moved to the Turner. Understood? Then absolute always starts from first. Relative always starts from current. Now cursor is at 10th record. I'll say relate to 3. Then relate to 3. Adams, James, Ford. So it go to this Ford record. Okay. Then that's all. So this is like absolute and relative. Okay. Now example. Then suppose, for example, see this. Declare cursor, select what? Once again. Declare cursor. You have to say what? For select what? Ename from EMP. So here, if you declare like this cursor is what? Forward only cursor. Okay, default is forward only cursor. If you want like what? Scrollable cursor, then declare the cursor with one option. What that option is? Scroll. If cursor is declared with scroll, then this cursor is called scrollable. If you don't declare scroll, then cursor is called forward only. Default is forward only. Next one. Next, declare the variable. I'm taking a variable ename. Ename is what? Varchar of 10. Next, open C1. Open the cursor. Cursor is open. Now fetch what? First record. Fetch first from C1. Okay, now fetch first from C1 into what? Name. Ename. Ename. Then I print ename. So I'm just printing. I want to demonstrate each and every fetch statement. So I'm writing this program just to what is fetch first like. So fetch first. This will fetch first record. This will fetch first record. Then prints first employee name. Next one. I'll say fetch what? Next already you know. Then fetch what's it? I'll say absolute 5. So it will go to the fifth record. So prints name. Prints what's it? Name. Prints name. Absolute 5 prints name. Next one. Next one. Like I'll say relate to 5. Whatever you want you can use, no problem. Relate to 5. And prints what? Name. Prints name. Next one. Let's say fetch last. Fetch what's it? Last. Okay, fetch last. Fetch last from C1. Print what? What? Ename. Print ename. Next one. Fetch. Fetch prior. Okay, then. So print what? At the rate what? Ename. Next one. Close C1. Deallocate C1. That's so if you run program like this, can you guess the output? What is the output? These are the names. Then you see this, remember this sequence and tell me the output. First absolute, relative 5, last prior. Then Smith, next one Martin, Turner, Miller, Ford. Okay, then that's all. You run this program. Okay, then So run this now. So Smith, Martin, Turner, Miller, Ford. Okay, then. But suppose if I remove this, I remove this scroll. Now this cursor is what? Forward only cursor. Then it gives errors. Forward only cursor supports only fetch. First cannot be used with what? Forward only cursor. Fetch relative cannot be used with what? Forward only cursor. Fetch type last cannot be used with what? Forward only cursor. So compulsory the cursor must be what? Scroll. Then it supports. Okay. Then. Okay. Next. So here in this select statement, you can write any select statement, not only this simple. You can use order by, you can use group by, you can use join query, anything. Whatever select statements we written in SQL, all the select statements are valid here. Okay, now in cursor you want to access data from two tables, then join query, ready join query. In cursor you want summarized data, then group by. So whatever queries you are written, all that queries are valid here. Union, subqueries, you can write subquery also. Okay, then. Next, you tell me this. Suppose write a program to print, okay, last two first. Write a program to print names, to print what's her names from last two first. Last record to first record. Simple. Okay, then. Program to print names from last to first. Last record, next one, 14th record, 13th record, 12th record, 11th record, 10th record, like that. So up to 1. Then simple now. What? Like same program. So what we have to use like this. Declare C1 cursor like what? Scroll for select what? Ename from EMP. Okay, ename from EMP. Next one. What is declare what? Variable. Take the variable. So ename is what? Varchar of 10. Next one. Declare the variable. Next one. Open C1. You open C1. Then last two first. Fetch what? Last from C1 into at the rate what's her ename. Next one. While same. Fetch status equals to 0. Begin. Okay, this statement fetches last record, 14th record. This fetch statement fetches 14th record. Assign that to ename. Print name. Print 14th employee name. Because I'm writing this program to print the name. Next I want previous record. Then fetch prior from C1 into at the rate what? Ename. Next one end. So this fetches previous record. Actually cursor is at 14th record. What is the previous record to the 14th? 13. Condition true. Prints 13th name. Fetches 12th record. Condition true. Prints 12th employee name. Fetches 11th record. Condition true. Like this. This goes up to 1. First record. Okay. Then so next one. Close what's C1. This is deallocate C1. Okay, na? So what is this is reverse navigation. Last two first. Next. Now. Okay. Run this. Then so this is printing what? Miller to Smith. Okay, last two first. Okay, na? Then. So one question asked like this. What is that is? Write a program to print every fifth record in the table. Write a program to print every fifth record. Okay, every fifth record. Fifth record, 10th record, 15th record, 20th record, 25th record, like that. Can I? 5th, 10th, 15th, like that. But our table contains only 14. But I want to print every fifth record in the table. Then what? So first time, like let's see. First time cursor is at before the first row. Yes, before the first row. Then I'll say relate to file. Relate to file. Then where the cursor is moved to? Fifth record. Because before the first row, for the first time, before the first row, if you say relate to file, starting from current, it will go to the fifth record. So what is the starting from current? Okay, na? What is the starting from current means? Actually, Smith. next fifth record, then it goes to Martin. It goes to Martin. Okay, na? Then next. So it will fetch Martin the record, assign that to this variable, print name. What is the next one? Next fifth record. Then again say relative file. Again relative file. Again you say relative file. Then where the cursor is more current record. Now where is the current record? Cursor is at fifth record. Starting from fifth record, it will go to the next fifth. What is the next fifth is 10th. Okay, na? Condition true, prints name. Next it will go to the next fifth. That means 15th. 15th is there or not there? Not there. Condition false. Loop is terminated. So it will fetch print 2. So that is 5th and 10th. Okay, na? It will print 2, 5th record and 10th record. Martin and Turner. Okay, na? Then that's all. Okay, then that's all. So this is about what? Cursors. Okay, now. So if they ask what is the difference between forward only and scrollable. So one supports only forward, another supports forward and backward. One supports only one fetch statement, fetch next. But scrollable cursor supports different fetch statements. One forward only cursor is random accessing possible. Randomly can you fetch 10th record from the cursor? No. To fetch 10th record, you have to fetch 1 to 9. Without fetching 1 to 9, you cannot directly fetch 10th record. Yes or no? But in case of scrollable cursor, directly can you fetch 10th record? Yes. Absolute 10. Okay, na? So these are the what differences. Okay, then next, what the next topic is? Error handling or exception handling. Error handling or exception handling. So errors are 3 types. Okay, errors are 3 types. In any programming language, errors are 3 types. One is what? Syntax errors. Next one, logical errors. Next one, runtime errors. So there are 3 types of errors: syntax, logical, runtime errors. Okay, syntax, logical, runtime errors. Then, so in every programming language, there will be a syntax. Okay, na? Then, so then every programming language, there will be a what? Syntax. There will be a syntax. You have to follow the syntax. What the syntax is, like here, variable should be prefixed with what? At the rate. Variable should be prefixed with at the rate. Next one, here while loop. While loop. So when begin is there, compulsory it should end with what? End. When begin is there, it should end with end. So this is the syntax. But you start while loop begin, but without giving end. If you don't give end, then it gives syntax error. When begin is there, compulsory end must be there. So this is all syntax. You have to follow the syntax. Okay, na? So every language is having some syntax. You have to follow the syntax rules. If you don't follow the syntax rules, then you'll get some errors called what? Syntax errors. Okay, then. And if logic of the program is what? Wrong. If logic of the program is wrong, then you'll get what? Logical errors. If program logic is wrong. Suppose I ask you to write a program for adding two numbers. Write a program for adding two numbers, but you return C equal to A minus B. The program is for adding the numbers, but you return C equal to what? A minus B. Okay, na? Then C equal to A minus B. So if you run this program, you'll not get any error, but you'll get incorrect output, not expected output. You'll get incorrect output. What is this error is called? Logical error, because logic is wrong. So actually you have to perform division. Actually you want modulus. You want modulus. By mistake you return A by B. Actually you want modulus. You have to write A percentage B, but by mistake you return A by B. This will not give the modulus. This will not give the remainder. Yes or no? So what this is called? This is called what? Logical error. Logic is wrong. Okay, then. So next, the errors which are raised during program execution are called runtime errors. So errors which are raised during program execution. So during the program execution, if you get any errors, they are called runtime errors. Okay, then. So suppose, for example, see, I taken a variable. I declared a variable, declare at the rate X. Next, what the type is? Tiny int. Set at the rate X equals to, suppose I'm giving 1000. But what is the range of this tiny int? 0 to 255. Okay, na? 0 to 255. But the given value is what? Exceeding the size. Data type limit. So what this statement causes? This statement causes runtime error. If you get any runtime error, then you see that. So this X equal to 100. This statement is causing what? Runtime error. Line 2. Line 2 is causing the runtime error. What is the runtime error is? Arithmetic overflow. So the value is exceeding the data type limit, then you'll get arithmetic overflow. So 220. Error code is 220. This is error message. So if the statement is causing runtime error, if any statement causes runtime error, what happens? Okay, na? If the statement causes what? Runtime error, what happens? So and SQL Server displays what? Error message. When the statement is causing runtime error, SQL Server displays what? Error message. But I don't want plus, and also program execution is continued or stopped. Let's see. Suppose X value is what, sir? Like suppose say 50 something. X value is 30. Initializer. I declared the variable initializer with what? 30. Next, I assign some variable to X. What is the value assigned to X? 1000. So the statement causes what? Runtime error. If the statement causes runtime error, execution is stopped or continued. That means next statements are executed or not executed. Then let's see. So it is showing arithmetic overflow plus also showing what's that? 30. That means execution is terminated or continued. Continued. So if the statement is causing runtime error, then it is showing error message and continues the program execution. but this is wrong. Okay, na? This is what, sir? Wrong. Okay, because when the statement is causing error, next statements are invalid. When the second statement is invalid, when the second statement is what returns error, next statements are what, sir? Invalid. Okay, na? But it is executing the next statements. That is not correct. Yes or no? Then what I want is, so if the statement causes runtime error, okay, na? Then I want to stop the execution. I don't want to continue this actual program execution. Okay, na? I want to stop this actual program execution, and I want to replace this message with my own message. This is a message generated by SQL Server. So the message is somewhat difficult for end users. Okay, arithmetic overflow is okay for developers, but not okay for end users. End users, they can't understand these messages. I want to replace this message with what? My own simple and user-friendly message. This is the message generated by SQL Server. I want to replace this message with what? My own message. Just give the message value should be between 0 to 255. So next time user will input correct value. Your message should be in such a way that next time user should input correct value. Yes or no? So I want to replace this message with my own message. Then what you have to do? So if you want to replace this message with your own message, you have to handle this error. SQL Server is raising the error now. You handle that error. You handle the error. You display your own message. Okay, na? Then, so that is what we are going to see. How to handle the errors. Which errors we handle? Runtime errors. We can't handle what? Syntax errors. And logical errors cannot be handled. Syntax errors cannot be handled. Logical errors cannot be handled. Only which errors can be handled? Runtime errors. Syntax errors cannot be handled means what? If you get syntax error, then go to the program, change the syntax. If you get syntax error, so go to the program, change the syntax. Because if you get syntax errors, logical errors, first of all, you cannot execute. You cannot what, sir? Execute. Okay, na? Then, so you cannot execute the program. So that's why if you want to execute the program, if any syntax and logical errors are there, then you need to what, sir? First resolve that syntax and logical errors, then execute the program. Understood or not? Then. So syntax errors cannot be handled. Logical errors cannot be handled. If you get any logical error, go to the program, change the logic. By mistake, you given A by B. So change it to modulus. Okay. Then you given A minus B, change it to A plus B. Understood? So if you get any logical error, go to the program, change the logic. So which errors can be handled? Only runtime errors can be handled. Okay. Then. So I'm giving the definition of what runtime errors. So errors that are raised during program execution are called runtime errors. Errors that are raised during program execution are called runtime errors. Okay. Then example, declare @x tiny int, set what? X equals to 1000. So what this statement causes? Runtime error, arithmetic overflow. Okay, then. Now, so if any statement causes what? Runtime error. If any statement causes runtime error, then SQL Server displays what? Error message, and continues what? Continues what? Program execution. So it displays the error message, continue the program execution. But if third statement is causing the runtime error, executing fourth statement is invalid. If third statement is error, means fourth statement is also invalid. X equal to 1000, sorry, X equal to 1000. If this is invalid, next statements are also what? Invalid. So next statements, wherever you use X now, that is what? Invalid. Then, so displays error message and continues program execution. Next, what is the requirement? Like to replace what's it? To replace what? System generated message with what? Our own simple and what? User friendly message. To replace system generated message with our own simple and user friendly message. Then, so I don't want to show the system generated message. I want to display my own message. So simple and user friendly message. Then we need to what? We need to handle that what? Runtime error. So handle that runtime error. Okay. Then how to handle the runtime error? How to handle the runtime error? So to handle runtime errors, then to handle runtime errors, what we need to do is to handle runtime error, include a block called, what that block is? Try catch block. Okay. Then in your program, include a block called what? Try catch block. Okay. Then so like how means program is syntax like this. Begin try. So program syntax is like this. Begin try. Then what's it? Statements. Next one. End try. Next one. Begin catch. Next one. Here what? Statements. Next one. What? End catch. So begin try, statements, end try. Begin catch, statements, end catch. Okay, then. So then, suppose here, what is the statements is? What are the statements? These are the statements. What's that? These are the statements. Causes what? Runtime error. What are the statements? These are the statements. What? Handles runtime error. So this is the block. This is the block that causes what? Runtime errors. This is the block that handles runtime error. One block causes runtime error. Another block handles runtime error. Okay, then. So here, if any statement is causing what? Runtime error. So you are written some number of statements, 10 statements. Fifth statement is causing runtime error. If the fifth statement causes runtime error, control goes to what? Catch block. Control goes to catch block. Execute the statements in catch block. So if any statement causing runtime error, control goes to the catch block. Execute the statements in catch block. That's all. Okay. Then. So now, suppose for example, just see this 1 second. 1 second. Just see this here. I'll take 3 variables. One is A, Next one, what's that? B, variable B. This is also tiny int. C also tiny int. Assign some value to A at the rate A equals to 100. Set at the rate B equals to like 20 something. Set at the rate C equals to A by B. A by B, print what's her C value. Just I'm writing a program. So in this program, so chances are there for what? Okay, then. So there are some chances are there for what's her runtime errors. So now run the program. Now program is executed successfully. 100 by 25 prints 5. Suppose I entered some value, B value 2000. B value is what? 2000. But B is what's it? Tiny int. It takes only the values up to 255. But given value is exceeding the size of tiny int or not? Yes. Then what this statement causes? The statement causes runtime error. You see this arithmetic overflow. Yes or no? Okay, na? So there is a chances are there for arithmetic overflow, but the error code is 220. Next one. Okay, suppose B value is what's that? 0. Entered value for B is what? 0. 0 is okay. For B, okay. B is tiny int. According to the data type, this is okay. Okay, na? So this statement is okay. Executed successfully. But C equal to A by B. 10 by 0. Something by 0 is what? Infinity in mathematics. But something by 0 is runtime error in programming languages. Okay, na? In programming languages, something by 0 is what? Runtime error. What is the statement causes? Runtime error. So this statement causes runtime error. Now see this. So divide by 0 error. So in this example, chances are there for arithmetic overflow. Chances are there for divide by 0. Understood? Then now, so suppose So this